There is a betrayal that wounds deeper than any act committed by another. It leaves no visible scar, yet it shapes the course of a man's entire life. It does not come from enemies, nor from strangers, nor even from those who oppose us. It comes from within, the betrayal of self. For there is within every human being a vision of what they might become. It is not loud nor demanding, but it is present. It speaks in moments of stillness. It rises in times of reflection. It calls a man toward purpose, toward growth, toward a life that is greater than the one he is currently living. And yet, too often, that voice is ignored. Not because it is unclear, but because it is inconvenient. For the path toward one's true potential is not an easy one. It demands discipline when comfort is available. It requires courage when fear is present. It calls for persistence when results are not immediate. And so, instead of answering that call, many choose another path, a path of ease, of familiarity, of quiet compromise. And in that choice, the betrayal begins. It does not happen all at once. It is not a single decision, but a series of small ones. A moment of hesitation where action was needed. A compromise where integrity was required. A delay where urgency was calling. And over time, these moments accumulate. A man begins to settle. He begins to adjust. He begins to accept less than what he once believed he could become. And slowly, without realizing it, he becomes a stranger to himself. He looks at his life and feels a distance, not from others, but from who he knows he could have been. He senses a gap between his potential and his reality, and though he may not speak of it, he feels it deeply. And that, my friends, is the true cost of self-betrayal. It is not merely the loss of success. It is the loss of alignment, the loss of purpose, the loss of identity. For when a man betrays himself long enough, he no longer trusts his own voice. He silences his own convictions. He conforms to expectations that do not belong to him. And he begins to live a life that is shaped not by truth, but by comfort and fear. This betrayal is not irreversible. For as long as a man can recognize the distance between who he is and who he could be, there remains within him the power to change. There remains within him a spark of truth that has not been extinguished. And that spark, if followed, can lead him back to clarity, back to purpose, back to himself. But the journey requires honesty, the kind of honesty that refuses to make excuses, that refuses to hide behind circumstances, and that dares to confront the choices that have led him away from his path. It requires courage, the courage to step away from what is easy and to step into what is right. And it requires commitment, the willingness to act, not once, but consistently in alignment with the person he was meant to become. For redemption is not found in regret. It is found in action. It is found in the decision to rise again, to choose differently, to move forward with intention. And I still believe, yes, I still believe, that there is no greater victory than a man reclaiming himself. No greater triumph than a life realigned with purpose. No greater strength than a person who refuses to live divided between who they are and who they are meant to be. Do not betray yourself any longer. Do not silence that voice within you. Do not ignore that calling upon your life. Do not settle for a version of yourself that you know is incomplete, but rise with honesty in your heart, with courage in your spirit, and with determination in your steps, and become who you were created to be. For in the end, the greatest tragedy is not that a man falls short, but that he never truly tries to rise. And the greatest victory is not found in overcoming others, but in finally overcoming oneself.